I used to think being forgotten was something that happened accidentally, like when someone forgets your coffee order or forgets to call you back, or forgets your birthday once because life got busy. But after the third year in a row of being forgotten by your own family on Christmas, you stop calling it an accident. You start calling it what it really is, a choice. Let me explain. I'm the youngest of 4 siblings, 2 older sisters, 1 older brother. Growing up, I was always the quiet one, the one who stayed in their room reading while everyone else argued in the living room, the one who didn't make waves, the one who said it's fine, even when it wasn't. My parents used to joke that I was the easy child, and I guess that's where it started, because when you're easy, people learn they can overlook you. The first time it happened, I honestly thought it was a mistake. It was 3 years ago. I had just moved into a small apartment about 40 minutes away from my parents' house. It wasn't fancy. 1 bedroom, thin walls, and a heater that only worked when it felt like it. But it was mine, and I was proud of it. December rolled around, and I assumed Christmas would be at my parents' place like always. No one mentioned plans in the group chat, but that wasn't unusual. My family has never been big on communication. On Christmas Eve, I texted my mom, "Hey, what time should I come tomorrow?" There was no response. I figured she was busy cooking or wrapping gifts, so I waited. An hour passed, then 2. Finally, around 10 p.m., my sister posted a photo on Facebook. Everyone was gathered around my parents' dining room table, smiling, matching pajamas, my dad carving the ham, my nieces holding presents. My stomach dropped. I stared at that photo for a long time. Then I called my mom. She answered on the 3rd ring, sounding distracted. "Oh, hi, honey." "Hey," I said, "I just saw the photo. Am I supposed to come tomorrow or—" There was a pause. A real pause. Then she said, "Oh my goodness, we thought you were working." Working. On Christmas Day. At a job I'd quit 6 months earlier. I swallowed. "No, I'm off." "Oh," she said. "Well, I guess you can come tomorrow if you want." If you want. Not "we're so sorry," not "please come," not "we made a mistake." Just if you want. I went anyway. I drove over Christmas morning with a knot in my chest, carrying a small bag of gifts I had bought for everyone weeks earlier. When I walked in, nobody ran up to hug me. My brother nodded from the couch. One sister said, "Oh, hey." My mom handed me a plate of reheated leftovers because breakfast had already happened. They had opened presents without me. My stocking was empty. I told myself it was just a misunderstanding. I told myself not to be dramatic. The second year hurt more. That year, I tried harder. In early December, I asked in the family group chat, "So, what's the plan for Christmas this year?" My sister replied with a thumbs up emoji. That was it. No one followed up. A week before Christmas, I asked again, "Are we doing dinner at Mom's?" My brother replied, "Probably." Probably. Christmas Eve came. No messages, no calls. This time I didn't wait. I called my mom in the afternoon. "Oh yes, we're having everyone over tonight." "Tonight? Everyone?" I asked. "Yes, your sisters, your brother, the kids." There was a silence where my name should have been. "So, me?" I said quietly. "Oh," she laughed. Actually laughed. "I assumed you had plans." With who? I lived alone. I spent Christmas Eve eating instant noodles on my couch watching old sitcom reruns. The next morning, I didn't go over. I told myself I was being mature. I told myself I didn't need them. I cried anyway. By the 3rd year, I stopped pretending. That year, I didn't text first. I didn't ask. I didn't remind anyone I existed. I waited. Christmas Eve passed. Christmas morning came. At noon, my sister posted another photo. Same dining room, same table, same smiles. This time, I didn't even feel surprised. I felt empty. Later that evening, my mom texted, Hope you had a nice Christmas. We missed you. Missed me. Like I was a bus they failed to catch. Something in me snapped. Not in a dramatic yelling way, not in a revenge way, just quietly. I realized something important. They weren't forgetting. They were assuming. They assumed I'd be fine. They assumed I had my own life. They assumed I didn't need the invitation. They assumed I'd show up if I wanted. They assumed wrong. That night, I sat in my apartment, staring out the window at other people's warm, glowing homes. And I made a decision. If they didn't make space for me, I would make space for myself. So this year, I did something different. I didn't wait for December. In March, I started browsing real estate listings. Not seriously at first, just scrolling, looking, dreaming. I found myself drawn to cabins, remote places, houses surrounded by trees instead of neighbors, places where the nearest grocery store was 20 miles away and the stars were actually visible at night. It felt ridiculous. I was a single person with a normal job, but every time I pictured another Christmas alone on my couch, something twisted inside me. By June, I had toured 3 properties. By August, I had made an offer on a small mountain house. It wasn't nothing fancy. 2 bedrooms, a wraparound porch, a wood-burning fireplace, tall pine trees in every direction, spotty cell service, absolute quiet. When my offer was accepted, I cried in my car. Not because I was scared, because for the first time in years, I felt like I was choosing myself. I didn't tell my family right away. Not out of spite. I just didn't feel the need. They didn't ask about my life much anyway. I closed on the house in October. I spent weekends driving up there, cleaning, painting, learning how to stack firewood, and figuring out how to operate a generator. It was hard work, but it felt meaningful. For once, I was building something just for me. In early December, my mom finally called. "So, what are you doing for Christmas this year?" Her tone was casual, like the previous years never happened. "I'm going to my house," I said. "What house?" "My mountain house." There was silence. "You bought a house?" she asked. "Yes." "When?" "October." "Oh," she said. "Well, why didn't you tell us?" I almost laughed. Why didn't you invite me? Instead, I just said, it didn't come up. She hesitated. "Well, are you coming here for Christmas?" I looked around my tiny kitchen, imagining the fireplace, the snow-covered porch, the quiet mornings. "No," I said. "I'm staying there." "Oh," she replied. "That's different." Different. A few days later, my sister texted. "So, Mom says you're skipping Christmas?" Skipping, like I was abandoning them. I replied, "I wasn't invited the last 3 years." She sent back, "We thought you were busy." Busy doing what? Breathing? Existing? I didn't argue. I just reacted with a thumbs-up emoji. Christmas week arrived. I packed my car with groceries, blankets, books, and enough supplies to survive a small apocalypse. The drive up the mountain took 3 hours. The last 40 minutes were on narrow, winding roads with snow piled along the edges. When I finally pulled into my driveway, it was already dusk. The house looked magical. Soft lights glowing through the windows, smoke curling from the chimney, trees standing silent like guardians. I lit the fireplace. I poured myself a glass of wine. I sat on the floor in front of the fire because I hadn't bought a couch yet. And for the first time in years, I felt peaceful. Christmas Eve, I cooked a full dinner for myself. Roasted chicken, potatoes, green beans. I set the table even though it was just me. I put on soft music. I ate slowly. I didn't rush. I didn't scroll on my phone. I let myself exist in the quiet. At around 8 p.m., my phone buzzed. A group photo. My family again. Same table, same smiles. My mom texted right after. "Hope you're having a nice time. We miss you." I stared at the message. Then I put my phone face down. I walked outside onto the porch. Snow was falling gently, drifting through the glow of the porch light. The world was silent except for the wind moving through the trees. And I realized something. I wasn't lonely. I was finally free. Christmas morning, I woke up early and made coffee. I opened the one gift I had bought myself, a thick wool blanket. I wrapped it around my shoulders and sat by the fire while sunlight crept through the windows. No awkward small talk, no forced smiles, no pretending everything was fine. Just me. Later that day, my brother called. "So, you really bought a house in the mountains?" "Yep." "Kind of dramatic, don't you think?" I smiled. "No," I said. "I think forgetting someone 3 years in a row is dramatic." He didn't have a response to that. Neither did